Very good afternoon. Today I would like to take the time aside to let you know about a ministry that I've been personally involved with for some time. That ministry is called the GospelText Mission. And what the GospelText Mission does is they distribute gospel signs on both sides of the Canada-US border. And this mission has been in existence for nearly 60 years. And it distributes signs from coast to coast on both sides of the Canada-US border. What I'll do is I'll post links and information up in the information bar that'll give you names, phone numbers, email, websites, everything you need to know so that you can contact these parties should you be interested in acquiring a sign for your own, or maybe if you know a farmer who has a good location to post these signs up in. Of course, they always abide by all the bylaws, zoning regulations of all states and provinces, so you won't have any problem. They're very privy to all that information. So with that said, I'm going to get on with the presentation. What I'm responsible for up here in Northern Ontario is the entire North Shore from Manitoulin Island, the North Shore from Sudbury through up to Sault Ste. Marie of Lake Huron, and then we go further north on the southern shores of Lake Superior as far north as Batchewana. So with that said, this is probably going to be a 2-video series. And then what we'll do later on, as we do the follow-up, we'll do another video down the road just showing you some of the upgrades that we have made on those different locations that will be posted on both of these videos. And I hope you enjoy the video. And this is one of the signs that we're doing for the GospelText Mission. We're going to probably change the text on this and replace it with a different text. There are 3 parties in Northern Ontario that take care from Sudbury right through till Batchewana, and one of those parties is currently in British Columbia doing some work up there, and we also take care of Manitoulin Island itself, and this is just recorded for the record. So this sign is definitely, as you can see, quite worn. The mission is going to probably replace this sign. And I'm just documenting everything for them so that they can determine as to what route they want to go, but my recommendation is that it gets replaced. You can see where somebody's actually gone on here and has tried to salvage it somewhat by painting on top of the worn out letters, but we'll replace this sign. Okay, so here's another one that we've got on location, and this sign is near Massey, Ontario on the Valley Street, I should say rather. And this sign here is going to have to be replaced. It served a purpose. I didn't personally paint this one. Somebody from Southern Ontario painted it, but we're going to reface it. The metal is still fine. We're just going to go ahead and replace with coroplast and screw nail it to the existing sign face. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. We'll probably keep that text. It has relatively good visibility here. This is another one for the record. Okay, this is a pretty old sign here, again located at the Val location near Manitoulin Island. This one here I didn't personally paint, but obviously it is quite weather worn. We'll show you what these all look like after we get them refabbed up. We'll go right back to the same sequence from one sign to the next to the next. A couple of these will change, but the locales are going to be the same, and that'll give you an idea as to what we're doing here. What's nice about these gospel signs is that despite the weather or whatever, it doesn't make any difference. They're a faithful testament to God's Word all the time, 24/7. So sometimes we get shy about proclaiming God's Word, but these signs are a bright, shining light 24/7. Now this is one I lettered up about 10 years ago because it's got the old Elmville address on the bottom. So that tells me that that was under different management at that point in time. So it's hung under quite good. I'm quite surprised as to how this sign is held up. And it looks like we're going to be able to leave this one here alone. It's good for a little while yet to come. It's well shaded here, and the sun isn't beating directly on the sign, so it's holding up quite well. We're quite pleased with that. So for the record, we're going to document it. But I'm guessing probably within 2 to 3 years, this will have to be replaced. Okay, this one here is a very, very old sign. You can tell by the address, the 64 Linwood. That was long, long before it switched addresses and then back to Linwood again. So I'm guessing this sign's probably about 20 years old plus, maybe a little bit more. This one I did not letter myself. This is a 10 foot by 20 foot sign, and this one here will definitely need to be replaced. but it'll probably be on hold for a little while until we get some of this other stuff cleared up. It still is readable. We can still probably get a year or two maybe out of it, but it's definitely on its last legs. Okay, this sign here looks in pretty good shape here. We're going to do a little bit of on-site touch-up, and outside of that, that's pretty much going to be it. Looks in pretty good shape. It's going to be good for a good long while to come here. Okay, folks, so we did this sign initially back in 1996, and it was in pretty good shape, but I just thought I'd throw some paint just to freshen it up. And it'll be good now for another, I'm guessing 5 to 7 years, possibly a little bit longer. It's lasted 13 years to date, and it was hardly faded at all, given that it's in a good situation here where it's not getting direct sunlight all the time. Hopefully that'll speak to a few people in the area. Okay, so here's another one that we're going to have to freshen up here today. This one here is about 13 years old. My chum Ray LeMay that used to work with me here in the business, he lettered this one. So we're going to freshen this one here up today. Take about an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll see what it looks like when we're done here. Okay, so it just dawned on me this sign here that in Blind River is a double-sided sign. So I do remember we did do this one in '96. This double-sided sign's been up for 13 years now. It's due for freshening up here. I do remember lettering this one personally. So we're going to freshen up both these signs today here, and we'll see how she plays out when we're done. Okay, very good. We just did about a 2.5 hour touch-up on 2 panels, 2 5x10s, and we had to snap it off real quick here. But this is the one side, and this is the other side of the 2 5x10 panels. So they're up and ready to roll. They're good for another 5, 6, 7 years. They're exposed to the elements, so they won't have as much longevity, but in either case, they'll be up for about 5 to 6 years. Oh, the pleasures of zoom lens.
That's pretty good.
This sign here we replaced about 3 or 4 years ago, and this looks like it's in very, very good shape. Looks in excellent shape, so we're not even going to bother doing anything with that girl. She's up pretty high there too. So we're going to leave it at that. Okay, so this is outside of Bruce Mines on the Bordeaux site. That sign looks pretty good. Though it needs to be cleared up somewhat. Outside of that, that looks like it's prime. It's good for a little while to go, so we don't have to worry about that one. Okay, this one here we let it up quite some time ago. I believe this was done around 1998. It looks like it's still in good shape. So we'll be able to hold off on that one for a while. And this is a double-sided sign, and we'll take a look at the other side. Okay, very good. This is the other side. And that sign looks pretty good as well. It looks like it should be cleared. But outside of that, it's in good shape. It's good for a few years to come here, so we're pleased and won't have to do anything with that one. Okay, so we're just outside of Deborah. And this sign here is starting to show signs of fading. So we're going to come back here and do some touch-up and try to bring this one up to speed. It's a double-faced sign. I'll have to take a look what's on the other side. Okay, very fine. That's pretty much the halfway mark. We'll pick it up on the next video on the back half of that one sign in Deborah, with a few more there, one near Echo Bay. Then we're going to move up the north shores of Lake Superior, and we'll touch on those signs up there. Should any of you parties have any questions, or you'd like to make any contacts with respect to acquiring your own sign or potential for someone else, by all means, click on the information bar up there, and everything you need will be available for you there. And I thank you folks for taking the time out here today, and have yourself a very nice evening.